¿Qué pasa to the pack? It is Pack here. I have the second roster update of NBA 2K24. These are the highest rated changing players of every single team and why they're getting rating changes. I'm going to cover that in today's video. And if you like that kind of content when it comes to NBA 2K24's rating changes, please join the pack and subscribe. And let's get it, man. Starting off with the Philadelphia 76ers, as I always do, Kelly Oubre Jr. +2 to the 80 overall club. He has broken ribs ever since getting hit by a car that apparently never happened. We'll never know, but he enters the 80 overall club, I believe, for the first time in his career. DeAnthony Melton on the team also goes +2. He has picked up for Kelly Oubre Jr. ever since he was gone with injury. We also have KJ Martin with a -2, and we have Patrick Beverley who gets a -1. This one feels wrong though because Patrick Beverley has been playing well lately. Also, Marcus Morris Sr. also gets a -2, which feels a little wrong because I feel that he's not playing bad. He's just not getting minutes, but I don't think he's playing bad. I don't think anybody believes Marcus Morris is a 74 overall. Final surprise is no Tyrese Maxey. He's averaging 28 points, 6 assists, 2 turnovers, and 40% from 3 in the last 10 games. He probably should have got a +2 or something. With the Milwaukee Bucks, we have Brook Lopez +1, making him an 83 overall. He is still that elite defender he's been these past couple seasons. He's doing it still. You could even argue, based off his play, he could be tied with Chris Middleton as the third best player on the team right now. Bobby Portis has slowed down, -2. He's still one of the better players in the league off the bench, so it's not a big deal. Malik Beasley gets a +1. I think he needed a +2 or even 3. He has been very good for Milwaukee lately, which is what they were praying for, and it's starting to pan out. He needs to go up even higher. For the Chicago Bulls, DeMar DeRozan -2, making him tied with Zach LaVine, who gets a -1 as the best player on the Bulls. This team is not good, right? They've won a couple games here and there. Vooch gets a -1. The one shining part about this team is Alex Caruso, who's gotten a +1. He is in the 80 overall club. I believe he was in the 80 overall club with the Lakers, but this is the first time he's gotten to that point without the Lakers. Kobe White also +1, but this team sucks. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell -1. The Cavaliers are kind of underperforming. They were one of the better teams in the East last season, and now they're just kind of like in a playoff position, really. It's not good enough for this team. They need to get better, especially because they have all this young talent that was supposed to get better. They need to do better than this. Evan Mobley, though, +1, and Darius Garland +1. Evan Mobley is tied as the second best player on the Cavs right now, which is so odd because Darius Garland was way better than him last season. Max Strus, who's found a new home in Cleveland, has shown that his Miami run was not a fluke, +1, doing very well in Cleveland. And Craig Porter, +6. They don't even have a face scan for this man. They gave him a +6. He's been doing pretty well in the limited minutes he's getting. And Tristan Thompson +1. This man has still found a way to be relevant in the league. Back in Cleveland is commendable. The Boston Celtics, there's going to be some downgrades here, but I really don't think they care. Jaylen Brown -1, Drew Holiday -1, and Derek White -1. Who cares? This team is so stacked. Of course, players' stats are going to go down here and there because everybody's going to eat. I don't think this is a big deal. Sam Hauser and Luke Cornett both go +2 though, but besides that, nothing crazy for the Celtics. Kawhi Leonard -2. I could argue maybe it could have been even lower because Paul George got a -1, and I don't know about that. Paul George, since the start of the season for the Clippers, has been the best player on the team. To give him a -1 feels a bit incorrect. I was arguing he should be the best player on the team. James Harden -3. I'm not surprised. Russell Westbrook -1. Also not surprising. He's taking a backseat role off the bench. It's not a shock. The Memphis Grizzlies have had nothing to be happy about. Jaren Jackson Jr. -1. Desmond Bane -1. Marcus Smart -2. The only bright spots is Derrick Rose +1, who's actually getting to play now, and Santi Aldama +2, who's looking very good. He's going to be a good piece for the Grizzlies in the long run, but they are praying for Ja Morant to come back. The Atlanta Hawks is the most boring update. Here we go. DeJounte Murray -1 and Bogdanovich +1 back to the 80 overall club. That's it. This team is consistently mid, and it's continuing that way. The Miami Heat have so many changes. Jimmy Butler -1. I don't agree. I think he should have just stayed where he was because he's not playing worse right now. So he should have just stayed at a 94. Bam Adebayo +1, 88 overall. Duncan Robinson, this was a big one, +2 to a 79. Wow. Talk about a comeback player of the year. Arguably could be in the 80 overall club. He's been essential for the Heat, has found his rhythm all over again. Good for him. Kyle Lowry, same. Found a little rhythm lately, +2 to a 78. Jaime Jaquez, one of my favorite players right now. He is cooking. As a fellow Mexican, I'm very happy right now. Caleb Martin, -2. He was cooking on the Miami Heat in the playoffs last season. He was the third best player rating wise last season. To jump down to 77 overall is ridiculous. And Drew Smith, +4. He went from a 65 to a 71, but now he has a torn right ACL, so that's tough. The Charlotte Hornets were starting to have a little bit of magic in their eye. They were starting to look pretty good, but LaMelo Ball gets hurt, but he got a +3 to an 88 overall. This is the highest LaMelo Ball has ever been rating-wise. Mark Williams +2, highest he's ever been. Miles Bridges comes back to the NBA and immediately was playing well, 81 overall. Gordon Hayward -2, but he's kind of been hovering around that 80 overall for a couple years now. And PJ Washington, who's been struggling, -3 to a 77, one of the highest downgrades of the roster update. For the Utah Jazz, John Collins -1 and Jordan Clarkson -1. Utah's not really having that start they had last season. It's kind of looking bad for them. However, what was I telling y'all earlier this year? Keontae George +2. It's not going to stay at a 74 overall. He's going to be growing all year. He is good. For the Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox +1. You have Domantas Sabonis +1. Kevin Huerter +1. JaVale McGee +1. It's been a while since I've said his name. But Harrison Barnes -2. This team is starting to have that magic that they had last season. It's looking like that again this year. They were supposed to get better. Fox and Sabonis are still relatively young. Keegan Murray is supposed to get a lot better. I don't see why this team wouldn't be better, and it's looking like that's the case so far. The New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson -1. Huh? I don't know about that, 2K. He's been pretty good, and the Knicks have been winning a lot lately. I'm going to disagree fully on Jalen Brunson downgrade. Emmanuel Quickley +1, and no Julius Randle upgrade. I think that's odd. Julius Randle has been a lot better lately. To not give him an upgrade when he plays better feels kind of biased. The Lakers, Anthony Davis -1. It's weird because Anthony Davis is so good at basketball, but every other game, he's been super inconsistent. That's not new news. Everyone's been hearing about this lately, but it's really shining right now. He's averaging 21 points, and that's weird because you look at box scores and it's either 36 or 18. He's all over the place. D'Angelo Russell +1. I actually think it should have been a +3. I think he should be the third best player on the Lakers right now. He's been playing that way, but +1 for him. And Rui Hachimura back to the 80 overall club, +1. Bro, the Orlando Magics. Get ready because this is a long one. They have been the surprise of the year. I thought they were going to be like a play-in team. I didn't realize the talent was this much better. Paolo Banchero +1. Franz Wagner only +1. In my opinion, I think he should be Tyler Paolo. He's that good right now. Cole Anthony -2. 2K is high. If anything, a +1. So he should not have been downgraded. Jalen Suggs +2. Good for him. Good for him because there was talks about him being a bust. I was saying in my old video that he's one of the funnest players to play in 2K with a low rating. He's pretty good. Gary Harris back up to a 78. He has not been this high since he was on Denver. Jonathan Isaac, a comeback story. Gone for like 3 years. Back and is playing great defense for the Magic. 77 overall. Goga +2, 77. All across the board, just upgrades for the Orlando Magic. Good for them. For the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic -1. That doesn't make sense to me. Their record has been worse since the start of the year, but I don't think it's Luka's fault. He's not playing bad. I don't give Luka a downgrade here. Kyrie +1. Back to the 90 overall club sounds about right. Grant Williams -1. He's calmed down a lot more since the beginning of the year. And Dante Exum +4. Talk about a comeback. When did this happen? Dante Exum is back and playing significant minutes for Dallas and doing well in those minutes. Good for him, dude. Still, the biggest issue that the Dallas Mavericks' third best player is barely an 80 overall club member. That's not good enough. For the Brooklyn Nets, we have Nicholas Claxton +1 back with the team. Cam Johnson -1. back with the team, and Lonnie Walker +1, who has been getting better and better and better every year, and now is finding a significant role as kind of like the sixth-ish man on this team. The champions, the Denver Nuggets. Although you have the best player in the NBA, 98 overall, Nikola Jokic. Murray was gone for a while from injury. Aaron Gordon went -1. Christian Braun +1. Reggie Jackson has been picked up his role in +2 because he was playing for Jamal Murray. And DeAndre Jordan revitalizing his career +3. The biggest one here is Reggie Jackson to me. I think Reggie Jackson is so impressive because whenever he has to start for a team, I feel like he kind of thrives. He did it with the Clippers. He's doing it with the Nuggets. He's going to be this, the bench point guard again, but still, he did good. The Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton +2, 92 overall. Has he ever had this high of a rating before? That's an insane rating. Miles Turner +1. We have Benedict Mathurin +1 and Obi Toppin +1. Obi Toppin enters the 80 overall club for the first time in his career, tied as the third best player on the Pacers. He's averaging the third most points on the Pacers in the last 10 games. That's impressive. New Orleans Pelicans, Zion Williamson -1, Brandon Ingram +1, tied as the second best player with CJ McCollum. Johnny Valanciunas +1, and Herb Jones +1 back to the 80 overall club. Mostly upgrades for this team. Zion is, I think, playing about what we expect him to play right now, like stats wise. No complaints here for me. The Pistons, can we just delete the team? Like, is that an option? Can we just remove every player from this roster? What is going on with Detroit? Like, can they not figure it out? Before we go into ratings, Cade Cunningham looks decent. Jalen Duren had an amazing year last year and is getting better this year. Thompson's one of the most promising rookies. Bogdanovich, while hurt for part of the year, is a bucket getter. Ivy was amazing last season. Bagley could be a good backup center. Alec Burks is a good backup player. Stewart looked great last year. Killian Hayes looked good last year. Wiseman was like one of the highest picks in the draft, and you have one of the better coaches in the NBA apparently. What is Detroit doing? Ivy -1, and it's not even his fault because they're not even playing him, so he doesn't even get the chance to get an upgrade. Bagley +1, Isaiah Stewart -2, James Wiseman -2. I mean, what is going on with him? But we do have Stanley Umude +4. Besides that, poop everywhere. The Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes -1, tied as the best player with Siakam. OG Anunoby -2. He was supposed to be amazing, and I feel like he's kind of slowed down. Malachi Flynn +2. Kind of boring changes for the Raptors. Houston's been good. I think they've been a surprise this season. Alperen Şengün +1, amazing player. Jalen Green +1, amazing player. Dylan Brooks -1, mostly a defender, so it's not really a big deal. Decent ratings all around. My city, bro. We haven't won a game in like 13 games. Victor Wembanyama -1. I don't care because he's going to be like a 95 in the near future. Zach Collins -1, deservedly so. Trey Jones -2, deservedly so. Everybody sucks. Phoenix. Devin Booker +1, almost the best player on Phoenix. I'd argue he is the best player on Phoenix this season. Yusuf Nurkic +1, Eric Gordon -1, and Bol Bol -1. A couple things here. Eric Gordon, he was amazing because everybody was hurt, but now that people are starting to come back, his role has diminished. I don't think he's gotten worse though. Bol Bol's not even getting minutes. To say that he's a 76 overall over players that are actually getting minutes makes no sense to me. He needs to be like a 73. The Thunder have been valid this year. SGA 94 overall, just like last year. He's been absurd. Chet Holmgren +2, 85 overall. He is clearly the second best player on this team. He's been amazing. Jalen Williams -1. Josh Giddey -2. Kind of hard for him to focus on the NBA right now, so not surprising. Lou Dort -1. Isaiah Joe +2. Aaron Wiggins +2. And then Mitchich -3. All over the place for this team, but this is one of the better teams in the West. They're looking fantastic. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns +1, playing a lot better lately. Jaden McDaniels -1, and Naz Reid -2. For the most part, I believe this is the best team in the West, record-wise. Obviously, the biggest reason for this is Anthony Edwards, but the team's looking good. Portland, DeAndre Ayton -1. He's not really doing as good as I thought he was going to do. Shaedon Sharp slowing down -2, and Matisse Thybulle. So I'm happy with him because I was talking with a friend the other day. I was like, man, there's not really any players in the league that are like just perimeter defenders and like cannot score at all anymore. Like, that's not like a thing anymore, right? Correction. Matisse is that guy. He's still a pretty damn good defender. Skylar Mays gets a +5 to a 75 overall. Tied with Scoot Henderson. Kind of wild. For the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry -1. I think it's kind of not Curry's fault, so I don't think he should go down. I think it's the rest of the team's fault because Klay Thompson -1, making Draymond Green the second best player on the Golden State Warriors for the first time in his entire career. Okay. Dario Saric gets a +1. And then Andrew Wiggins gets -3. That's a little bit of an overreaction in my personal opinion. I don't think he should have gotten that much of a downgrade, but he's definitely not playing that good right now. So maybe like a 78, but 76 is absurd. There's no way he's that bad. Jonathan Kuminga -2, and then Brandon gets a +3. For the most part, Steph Curry needs help badly. There's one change for the Wizards. Let's play a little trivia game. What do you think the change on the Wizards rating is? Yeah, it's Jordan Poole. -2 for him out of the 80 overall club. What happened to this man? Like, he just got comfortable, I guess, and he sucks now. It's kind of depressing to watch. That's everything. Yeah, good. This is a good one. Nothing crazy. The biggest one was Jaime Jaquez, upgraded to +5. Besides that, nothing too insane. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. If you like this channel, please give it a sub. I'll see you guys next time.